get this going. All right, let's see. All right, guys, what's going on? Jose V here, Straight Bet Sports, Vegas Sports Daily, hanging out at the crib as most of you guys are. I know this whole coronavirus has everybody going crazy, has some people just staying home. Some people have lost their jobs. Some people are just on hiatus. They're not really lost their jobs yet. They're just hanging out at the crib. Some are getting paid. Some are trying to wonder what's going to happen. But we also have some professional athletes here locally, but not only locally, around the whole country in general, that are also being attacked and hurt by this vicious disease. Now, I don't mean by their health. I mean the fact that they don't get out to be able to play the game that they love and be able to enjoy themselves. But we're going to talk a little bit today with Ramon Martin del Campo, Las Vegas Lights FC, here in Las Vegas. He's at home right now, as I am. We're going to chop it up, have a good time here, see how it goes, enjoy ourselves. Just waiting for him to check in real quick, and then we'll definitely get him going here. Let's see. All right. Let's see here. Just waiting on Ramon to come through. Hope you guys are having a good Thursday. Throwback Thursday, got to represent. My throwback is I miss soccer. I miss sports in general, especially out here in Las Vegas. I wish that we were all enjoying it, having a good time. But we got to find other ways to do things. Some of us are still working. I still work on a daily during the day. And when I'm at home with my family and my kids. So just the world of sports in general has not been the same since everything that has been going on. But the world in general has not been the same. So we're going to go ahead and get Ramon on here shortly. Let's see if we're trying to get him on real quick. Let's see. Go ahead and add you real quick, brother. All right, I just sent you a request. Let's see if we can get Ramon on one more time. Here we go, man. Let's try to check this out. Hey, there he is. Got him.
How's it going? Sorry about that complication. I had no idea. My Instagram just shut off and sent me out to my homepage. I was like, what?
It's all good, brother. Appreciate you coming on for a little bit, man. Before we get started, just want to ask you, how's everything at home with you, the wife and the baby, and this whole quarantine situation?
Everything's good. We're controlling what we can control right now, and we're trying to make the most out of it. We've definitely put a bigger focus on our relationship. We are talking so much more. I realized for the first time that TV screens are black when you turn them off. I had no idea. That's new. But the baby's good. We recently had a check-in with our doctor on Monday, and then the doctor sort of gave me like the real news of that Alexa, my wife, is high risk. You know, if something were to happen, if I were to touch someone or be around someone that has it, that I could potentially hurt my daughter and my wife. And up until that point, I was working out in gyms and still very much training full throttle, and sort of that hit me hard. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do better at this. And since that Monday, I've taken this quarantine much more serious. The only time I go out, I go for just jogs by myself, really away from people. And then do some workouts just really on my lonesome. Most of the time, there are workouts in the house with the dumbbells that I have. But other than that, the family's okay. We're good. We're playing cards. Hate to admit it, but Alexa beat me last night in a game of rummy, and it's
going to happen, especially when you're at home, right?
It's not normal at all. I'm usually undefeated in that, so that's an all-time low. It's a new time low for sure.
So for those of you that are just joining us now, Ramon Martin del Campo from your Las Vegas Lights FC out here in Las Vegas, hanging out with me a little bit, chopping it up due to this quarantine situation that a lot of us are going through. Some of us are at home, some of us are still working. Now, Ramon, how tough has it been for you? Especially, this is your bread and butter. This is how you make a living, and this is how you take care of your family. How tough has it been for you knowing that Saturday's not game day, that during the week is not really training day? How have you adapted to that part of life?
It's been very different. Like difficult. I mean, I don't want to say it's just super weird, honestly. There was a Saturday that it should have been the game against Sacramento, and Alexa and I were just chilling. We were at the house, and I was like, babe, I feel like I should be preparing for a game. Like, I feel like I should be locked in the zone. And it's just weird, you know. It's like you finally get in the rhythm, you get through the harsh preseason, the off season, the boring stuff, right? And then you finally start the action of the games. Here we go, game after game, go for the points. This is how we show the league what we're worth, we've been preaching to our fans that we're different this year. We got to show them a little taste at the away game, and then out of nowhere, it's just a huge red light, a big halt, and it's just been weird because you want to be out there, you want to train, you want to kill it. I sort of have to convince myself because in my brain I'll play like tricks on me and be like, I'm being lazy. I was like, no, I'm not being lazy. I'm doing what society's telling me to do, which is stay indoors most of the time, avoid contact. And naturally, my body's like, Ramon, what are you doing? Get off of the couch, work out, do something. Come on, watch some video. I'm like, there's no video to do. And my brain's just sort of like, I have this internal battle. And then, like I just said, I find ways to do home workouts and go for my little jogs. Obviously, social distancing from people and keeping my trying to stay away from people and do it all on my lonesome. But that's basically been it, you know.
How much tougher has it been for you knowing that you just got to Las Vegas not too long ago and you're ramping up, getting ready for a season with your brand new team, and you got to get acclimated with your teammates? You don't have that time right now. I know it's only been a couple of weeks, but you guys did train a lot prior to that. You went on the road, like you said. You had your road game. But not being able to continue that, what are you doing to still keep in contact with your teammates?
You know, I've been trying to send out text messages. Jordan and I do Snapchats every now and then. Those are pretty funny. Brian and I voice messages. Every chance I get, I try to send Brian a meme and mess with him. I sent one to Jordan the other day. That was pretty hilarious. They're not the most appropriate memes, so I'll keep that PG. They're definitely gotcha memes.
Got it. Okay.
But I try to do my best with texting people. I could do better. 100%, I'll admit that. I could do better. Just the other day, I texted Tommy, and then I forgot to reply back. And now that you asked that, I'm like, I've left him hanging for a day. So I'm gonna be better at that. But I've tried to send text messages. I've tried to send the voice messages on WhatsApp to do something, right? To have some sort of communication. Because you're super right. This is a time where, I mean, it shows your true character, right? And this is a great time for me to be better in my communication off the field because it'll essentially pay off on the field as well.
Now, talk about your family outside from the family you have here in Las Vegas. What other family do you have around the country that might be in certain areas that are being affected harder by this, or probably not as much? And what are they doing to stay safe at this point? And what have you done to communicate with them?
Well, I talk to I'm really, really close to my family every day, maybe like 4 or 5 times a day. We're FaceTiming. It's a little weird. For a Mexican, that's not that weird.
WhatsApp all day, right?
Exactly. I have family in San Diego, California, and they have just completely quarantined. They're not going out. My grandparents are there, so they're older and they're very much high risk. My dad is about 55 years old. I guess he could be around that high risk. My mom's high risk as well. She has some health issues that they're on the rise now. They're getting better, but nonetheless, you don't want to take that chance. So they've completely quarantined themselves. My brother's with them as well. He's still working, but it's a restaurant and they're only doing takeout. So he's pretty much indoors. My youngest brother, he's in the Army and he's currently deployed in Iraq.
Okay.
Haven't really heard much danger over there about the coronavirus, but not gonna lie, I think a week ago his base received like over 50 rockets, and some guys passed away, which was sad, but he's safe and he's doing his best to lead his troops over there and be the best he can be. But I would say definitely in San Diego, California is probably one of the more infected states. And like I told you, my family's not really taking chances. They're really good at quarantining themselves. To them, it's just normal life. They watch movies all day long. They play card games. They're actually on another level of card games. I can't even sit at the table with them because I'll get smoked in like 3 seconds of them just looking at me. But everyone's fine. Everyone's doing well, and everyone's in high spirits. Like I said, we're always trying to talk to each other. We're deep believers in our faith, and we know that we have a God that can take care of all this. So we're just doing our part and then letting the big man upstairs control everything, you know?
So one thing that I've noticed since I met you is you're a big man of faith. You always talk about God and your religion and how important that is to you. in a time like this, how much more important is your faith? And not only that, to bring that upon other people that probably aren't taking this as seriously as they should be.
My faith is huge to me. It's super big. I try not to say it as like religion. I like to call it relationship, right? Because anything that's religion is man-made. It's rules, it's laws, and they normally get broken, and it just puts a tighter restraint on us. And I like to see relationship. I like to know that God's grace abounds, and no matter what we do, we're saved. Even though we're not worth it, He forgives us and He saves us and He loves us and He thinks the world of us, right? I think in times like this, it's important to magnify Christ. And I don't want to turn this into a huge sermon, but
No, I get it.
it's really easy to look at things like this and find the negative in it, and sort of count yourself as a victim. I like to see it as like, oh, you know what? Like maybe the Lord's testing my faith here. Am I going to show Him that I'm scared, or am I going to show Him that I know where to put my trust? And that's where I tell you it's time to magnify Christ. It's no matter what problems we have, Christ is bigger. You know, whether it be homelessness, sickness, a virus, a war, an injury, our God's bigger than all of it. And His plans are so much greater than what we can imagine. At the end of the day, if we know, I like this, I forget what verse it was, but I'll give you a little example. It says, the birds eat every day. Every day they find something to eat. Correct. And they don't worry about the next day. He's like, and He tells us, do you not think that I care more about you than I care about the birds? And if the birds are eating every day, I am 100% positive that He cares more about us than He does birds, and we're going to be more than fine during this virus, during whatever challenge we see. We just have to magnify Christ and make sure that He knows that we believe He's bigger than everything.
Kind of sticking to that family, Christ, you know, your whole religions per se. Something new that you guys started. I want to go back to the whole soccer team. I want to go back to the thing that you guys got there. Obviously, don't want to talk too much about, you know, the negative, which is the coronavirus. And I know that people need to hear about it and hear the good and the bad and what they need to do. But for the people that are withdrawing and miss the Las Vegas Lights and they miss soccer, what are you hearing from the USL or from Coach Ronaldo or from anybody in the organization about what timetable they have, if any, when you guys can get back to some time of normalcy where you can either practice or start being back in the facility before you guys can even play? Are you guys being told any of that? Have you been given a heads up? Or is there anything you could share with us today?
Totally. From the return date, nothing has changed. It's looking like it is going to be May 10th, the start. I keep hearing a lot of positive words of like, this thing going to be over in 2 weeks, that we're going to be back at it soon, so stay prepared. I can't tell you how much truth there is in that. Maybe it is like a placebo effect, like try to get your brain pumped for the return, or how much seriousness there is, right? I haven't really heard much news other than the start is May 10th still, and do what we can do to stay fit, which is probably the home workouts, the lonesome jogs, and I'm a big believer in visualization and mentally preparing. I think it's one of the most important aspects of the game that people forget. We can train every day, but if mentally you don't have it, you can't make those decisions. You can't be prepared for a 90-minute battle, 95 minutes worth of battle, a bad referee, a good team, a bad day for you. Then you're not. All the training in the world can't help you. You got to be here first. So for myself, I'm trying to stay mentally intact every chance I get. I try to visualize. Normally at night, it's best for me. I visualize the game, see how I can get better from there. What else? Do my home workouts, and then just prepare. Keep waiting for my coaches to give that green light for us. And right now, it's looking at May 10th.
A couple of weeks ago, we were hanging out at the media luncheon back at the facility in the locker room.
That's
before
right.
any of this got to what it got to be now. And Coach brought up something that he's talked to me before, and he brought up in the media, your new saying that you guys have, your new motto, Somos el Cielo. For the people that have not heard that or have not even known that that is something that you guys are living by now, can you talk to the people that are watching or listening to us today and give them a little more understanding of why you guys are following that motto and what it means to you guys, especially the stuff that you guys are posting with #family? What does that mean to you guys, and where did it all come from?
Totally. So I'll try to do my best. Coach Eric
Remember, you
is
said
a
you
next,
guys messed it
next
up
level
last time.
story. Yeah, he's a next level storyteller when it comes to this. He describes the saying coming from a meeting with a certain player. We have no idea who that player is. I think it must have been a player from last year's team. And the player told him that I'm the star of this team. You can't get rid of me. This was when Coach obviously said he wasn't going to pick up his option or renew his deal. I don't know the details of the contract. And he told the coach that he was basically the star of the team. And one day, I think Eric was in Los Angeles, or maybe he was in Vegas, and I don't know where the other player's from. He looked up and he saw a constellation of stars, right? Just the sky filled with stars. And he called the player and he said, well, you said you were a star. Which one are you? And I guess the guy couldn't really pick the star, or he picked one and it was just sort of half-assed decision of picking a star. And basically what it comes down to is when you go outside and you look up at the sky, you don't look at just one star. You look at the combination of stars, all the beautiful stars. And it's all those stars together it's what makes the nighttime, the time that you stare up into the sky, so beautiful, right? You're not just staring at one, you're staring at a constellation of stars, right? I hope that's the right word I'm using. And what we're saying here is we are the sky, somos el cielo, right? Because every single one of us in that locker room is considered a star. We all play a very important role. And if one of us dims out, that constellation doesn't look the same anymore, right? And with all of us burning as bright as we can be, shining as bright as we can be, right? We make up something that is a masterpiece, which is that night sky that you go outside to and you sit up and gaze at and are just caught in complete awe. And that's what we're trying to be. We're trying to be that awe. We're trying to be that masterpiece. And we know the only way we can do it is if all the stars are shining together like a family. So I hope that does it justice. I know Coach Eric is Hollywood level. He says it like a novela, you know. He said it, and I want to cry, you know. When's episode 2 coming out? So he does a really good job.
One thing I will say about Coach in the 2 years or the year and a half that we've had him here, he's great at telling stories. He's great at giving you quotes. He's like a walking quote machine. He doesn't even know it, but every time he's giving you something, it's gold, man. It's gold. Now, another thing that Coach mentioned during that luncheon that I really, really liked is the fact that every time you get asked a question, whether it's you, whether it's Jordan, whether it's Brian, you guys always answered with we. Mm-hmm. It was not me. What am I going to do? I want to do this. I'm going to accomplish this. Even when I asked Brian what he wanted to accomplish for himself coming back from his injury, it was still a we answer. As where Coach Eric Ronaldo said, that's something he's proud of because he's created that family. And every single answer you guys give is we. How and why is that? And why is that important to you guys?
Because we understand that we need everyone to achieve history, right? It's not just one player. One player can have a super season, but if the other 10 are having a terrible one, the team essentially goes nowhere, right? Now, if you get 16, 17, 18 players all carrying their weight and, you know, a couple that aren't, that couple are going to look at us for help and we can build them up. We can bring them to join back to the family. When it's one guy, it's very difficult, right? And sometimes that one guy, it can get very sidetracked. Just be like, well, you know what? If they're not going to do it, I'll just do it myself. And he can take a path and really go the wrong route, right? Very much focus about himself and his goals. I understand that us as a collective unit, as a team, if we do better, if the team succeeds, my individual goals will succeed as well, right? Because at the end of the day, I want to win. And I know my teammates want to win too. And by doing that, I know I have to clear the ball, I have to defend, and I know every now and then I'll probably have to score a goal. And my teammates that, like a Sekou, like striker or junior, are going to score bangers, and every now and then are going to get in the box and defend too, because we understand that if we work together, we can achieve greatness. So, and with that, naturally, our individual goals are accomplished, right? So first, we put the team first, we put our teammates first, and then with that, it sort of like trickles down, and the success then falls on you naturally, right? But if you push your teammate's going to push you, and by that training session, you'll be 1-2% better than the day before.
So I have a question for you here that I was given to ask from you from one
I'll
of the
get some
fans.
success as well.
What was that? Hello? Oh, you still there? Okay, cool. Sorry, I was buffering for a minute. I thought I lost you. So, can you
Yeah.
hear me?
I hope it didn't cut out. I
Oh,
can
no,
hear you.
you're
I can
good.
hear you.
All right, cool. So one of the questions that I do have for you from one of the fans that they ended up texting me is game one. A lot of us were shocked. Tommy did not play, did not start when we were expecting that. Obviously, whatever was said is behind closed doors. That's behind you guys and coach. But how was Tommy's overall emotion, and how did you guys rally around him to make sure he was good? And not only that, you're a leader, and you've been known to be a leader everywhere you've gone. What did you do in that situation?
You know what? It's a tough situation to be in, right? It's very much like a second homecoming. It's your university. It means a lot to him. I can only imagine that it must have hurt tremendously not to get the nod and play, right? But I'll tell you that guys in the team are different now. We know if someone's ahead of us, the day of the game, it's just pure motivation. I know Tommy motivated Lalo. I know Tommy gave his pointers to Lalo when it was game time. It is a big stadium, and Tommy has that experience. And I'm sure whatever conversations were happening amongst the goalies, I know Tommy was only feeding positive information to Lalo and was preparing him to be his best. I don't. Oh, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, you're still...
Can you see me? I'm still here. I don't know if it's buffering or what.
I think in the moment, you know, as a player, all you can go do is give him a quick hug and nod and tell him to keep his head up, right? Because you know that vibes can transition onto the field. If someone's having a bad day on the bench, I know players can feel it. It's because we're all together on this, right? The leadership role there, I sort of just let him be in a moment, because sometimes you just need a moment for yourself. You just need to just, whatever it is, vent in your brain, do what you got to do. You don't really want to see anybody. It could be very hard. It could be very hard, a tough pill to swallow at the time. But I do know that in the week build up to Sacramento, seeing the way Tommy trained was on another level. He was catching balls. He was preparing. He was doing his best to get in that position again to start. And naturally, when that happens, you make a goalkeeper better. Him working hard, Lalo sees that, and he competes. Then Lalo competes harder, and Tommy competes harder. It just trickles down again. Both of these guys are getting very much better. It's just unfortunate the game was canceled, because then we'll never know who gets the nod for that game.
So what are you expecting once all of this is done? How do you guys expect to come out of this? And I'll tell you one thing. The one thing that Coach told me, and I tweeted it out as a quote, he says that he honestly feels that you guys are going to be the best team to come out of this situation better than anyone else. Didn't say anything else from that, but he honestly feels that you guys are going to come out better than any other team ready to go. Do you agree with that quote? And if so, what's up? Are we gonna see the Las Vegas Lights FC that everybody was excited to see after game one, after that game one road point that you guys got that was so tough to get? What are we gonna see? Did I lose him? Oh, I think we lost him.
Oh, I think
Did you hear any of the question? Did you hear anything that I said?
Still getting pretty.
It's still buffering.
Slow. I didn't hear any other question.
Get out there. Oh, wait a minute. Looks like we lost him. He might have lost the connection here. Give us a second. Let me see if I can get him right back on real quick. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Looks like we lost connection with him. Let's see if we can get him back on. If you guys have any questions, I'm looking at it right here. I'm looking at the comments. If you guys have any questions for him, let me know. We'll try to get him back on real quick here. Let's see what we got. Let's see if we can get him on. Let's see. Ask him how many tacos de buche does he eat. All right. Definitely. We're going to get that one. Let's see. I just want to see if he's in here real quick. Can we get him back on? There he is. All right. Let's see if we can get him back on. Sorry, guys. I appreciate you guys still watching, though, and hanging out with us. It means a lot. Definitely. There he is. He's back. Man, we got to call you internet provider, man. What's going on over there?
It's Cox.
All right, so real quick, I'm going to ask you a fan question that I just got here while we're trying to get you back on. Someone wants to know, how many tacos de buche can you eat at once?
All of them. I'm kidding,
All of them.
I would say that if I'm eating tacos, if I'm going to go have tacos de buche, I'm definitely going to have, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to have 4 of them for sure.
Okay.
Okay. My wife just blurted out 7, which is the honest answer. The 4 is because we're currently in season, and I have to try to be a little healthy, not that much of a pig.
So Ana Luz del Campo said, Primo, when are you coming back to Hermosillo?
That one's a tough one. I would definitely say, Mimi's, when Carly is born, we are going to try to make a visit sometime, well, probably in the next offseason. So closer to November, once we've won the USL Cup, I'll come with the medal over and get to show you guys over there in Hermosillo.
Okay, I like that answer. I like that one. So we got Derek Tupper wants to know if you miss your number 1 fan. I'm not sure if you know who that is, but that's what he's asking here on the Instagram page.
It's my man Derek. He's a great fan in Ottawa. We had great times. I'll never forget giving him my jersey in Ottawa. He's a big fan. He always keeps that jersey. Every now and then he'll send me pictures. I have to send you a Las Vegas one now, my man, because I'm a new number. I'm number 2. But, Derek, I give you my best. I'll send you a big hug. I hope your wife and your family are good, too.
And away from Las Vegas, because we know this is the best place you've ever been in and the best place you're going to play at. From your previous stints where you've been in other locations, what would you say you missed the most? What spot do you miss the most?
Ooh, that's a great one. And I'm going to say I definitely miss Fresno, 100%. I made some really good friends in that city. Great friends. I had tremendous memories with not just the fans there, the high school I got connected at where I got to coach at Fresno Christian, the church I got to go to. Luis Naranjo, what did this guy say? Ni un minuto para algunas futuras 4 ilusiones, pero no soy campeón. Qué grande, muy. Eso, Luis. Dale, papá. Sí, Luis. He was the trainer at.
There we go. Interact with the fans, man. I love it.
Yeah, when I played there. But I definitely miss Fresno a lot. I had great memories from the high school I worked at, the team I played with, my teammates over there. The fans were tremendous to me. They were super, super good and supportive. And the friends I made, they were amazing friends, for sure. We had great memories, got to do a lot of fun stuff there, see a lot of cool things. Honestly, it was a blessing in disguise.
All right. Did you freeze up on me again?
I turned out to love that city.
Looks like you're buffering again, man. We got to get you better internet connection. So another thing I did want to mention to you before we buffered earlier that I was trying to ask you, something that Coach said to me is that with every hardship, there's travesty, and with every hardship and travesty, there's hope and opportunity. He says that this group will be the one that utilizes this time best. What do you say to Coach's comments?
I didn't hear a single question. It's all buffering again. What if you typed it out? If you type it out, I can make.
Can you hear me right now, or you can't hear me? I want to make sure. You could? All right. So basically, Coach said, with every hardship or travesty, there's hope and opportunity. We will be the group that utilizes this time the best. What do you say about Coach's comments there? You can't hear me. Can you hear me? I can't hear you anymore. I'm not sure if your phone broke up. Let's see. We're trying to get you back on. I'm not sure if you can hear me or not, Ramon. Well, look, internet's tripping. If you can hear me, I just want to say, Ramon, thank you very much for joining me today and giving me your time, a little bit of your time. I know you got to tend to your wife and your baby there. Just want to make sure that you guys are safe, healthy, take care of yourselves. Stay inside if you don't have to go outside. If you need some tacos, bro, hit me up. I'll deliver them for you. Not a problem. I got you. But thank you again, man. Las Vegas Lights FC defender, Ramon Martin del Campo. Greatly appreciate you. Take care of yourself. All right, guys. That was Ramon Martin del Campo. For everybody that was on this chat in this live video today, I just want to thank you guys for giving me your time. For all your comments, your likes, your retweets, everything, man. I do appreciate you guys. If you guys have not followed me already, I do appreciate if you do give me a follow. Straight Bet Sports right here. If not, go ahead and follow me on Facebook as well, Jose Volonte. If not, on Twitter, Jose_Volonte. You can check all of our content out as well at Vegas Sports Daily. But once again, this has been a quarantine version of Straight Bet Sports brought to you by Vegas Sports Daily. I am Jose V. He was Ramon Martin del Campo of your Las Vegas Lights FC. Once again, thank you guys. Take care of yourself. Tough times we're living in right now with this coronavirus. Stay healthy. Take care of your loved ones. And please listen to me. If you don't have to leave the house, don't leave the house. Till then, I'm out. Take care. Peace.